the game, cause see the boxing voice.
We have a lot going on here, but now join me on the line. This man here, well, big things are happening with him, and we have his confidant Henry Martinez on the line with us as well. He is the WBA regular champion. He'll be fighting on December 5th, only on Showtime against Jonathan Oquendo. I give you once again the pride and joy of Argentina. It is Jesus Cuellar. Jesus, Henry, let's start off here. You got the big fight. You get to defend your title on a co-main event of a huge fight on December on Showtime. How big is this for you guys? How big is it to be able to get, a high-profile fight and be on Showtime on a co-main event of a big card?
Dice que como ves que vas a estar en la pelea de Showtime, vas a ser el co-main event de la pelea estelar de la noche y vas a ser en Showtime. ¿Y cómo lo ves esto? Yo lo veo muy bien. Me siento muy bien por pelear en Showtime, ya por tercera vez que voy peleando y que vine a Los Ángeles a entrenarme. He says that he feels great to be on Showtime on the card, to be the co-main event, and this is his third fight with Showtime, and he's looking good, and he's in LA training for this fight.
Jonathan Oquendo, last time we saw him, he took on and beat up Yanni Gonzalez. He shocked a lot of people. He's a guy coming in there with confidence. What do you see out of him, and how difficult is it to fight a guy who he seems to be getting better as his career goes on? I mean, he's one of a few guys who he's gotten better within, let's say, the last 5 or 6 fights.
Dice que Jonathan Oquendo le dio una sorpresa al mundo en ganarle a Johnny González. Viene de ganar 5 o 6 peleas. Más el tiempo va pasando con Jonathan Oquendo, se mira que cada pelea va progresando y mirándose bien qué es lo que tú piensas o qué es lo que sí, yo vi mucho video de él que va progresando en cada pelea y ojalá que esté bien preparado para dar un buen espectáculo. Yo lo veo. He says that yes, he noticed that and we've been watching some of his videos and Jesus says that he's training good to give on a good show, so hopefully he comes in the same way he's been doing and we'll put on a great show for that night.
Without going into too much detail, because I know you guys don't want to spoil the secrets, what kind of fighters are you guys bringing in to help, or what kind of guys are you sparring with for this fight? What is Robert, and Jesus been doing in terms of bringing in the right kind of people to sort of mimic Jonathan's style, get a sense of what he might try to do in the ring with them?
¿Qué clase de sparring tenemos? Dice que cuando tenías a Robert tenías que te traían sobre la pelea, dice, pero ahora qué clase de sparring tenemos sobre esta pelea. Estamos trabajando muy bien con el equipo muy imperfecto que están viniendo a aguantear. También me está ayudando un poco Shemuele y Alfonso Gómez. Both of them has brought a few sparring partners for him too, Shemuele too. He's training with a few sparring guys that helped out Leo Sanchez against Camden Mars for his fight. He's got some of those prospects. One of them is, I think his name is Jose Ramirez, who fought Lomachenko. And so we got some good sparring partners for this fight.
Once again, we got Jesus Cuellar on the show. We're talking all things, of course, Jonathan Oquendo. We're talking Showtime, December 5th, only in the Barclays Center. It's going to be Quillen versus Jacobs, Cuellar versus Oquendo here. Before we go back to that fight, take us to your last fight. It was you versus Victor Chinian. You defended your title once again. It was a TKO victory for you. What went right? What went wrong? And what do you feel you either improved on or you need to work on going forward from that fight?
Dice que tú peleaste desde tu pelea con Victor Chinian, que venías adelante, que tú peleaste qué es lo que vas a explicar y trabajar sobre esa pelea que no. Yo estábamos trabajando muy bien mi ataque, mi defensa y trazando un poco más, poder montar un poco más en mi opción. He says, yes, for that fight, we're training good, better not for this fight because we're working on my defense, also on my keeping my calmness down and not engaging that much, but to work on my defense skills and use my jab more and be more with combinations instead of coming forward looking crazy.
When you look back at that fight, were you surprised that Darchinian was able to last as long as he did? Were you surprised that he was able to have some success against you, considering you were the bigger guy, you were the stronger guy? I mean, how much of him, being able to survive at least 8 rounds was either based on his skill and strength or based on maybe something you overlooked?
Dice que con la pelea de Victor King se dio sorpresa de que él se aguantó 8 rounds, estuvo en la pelea 8 rounds y se miró bien en veces en la pelea, que tú estabas sorprendido de lo que hizo él o qué es lo que tú piensas. No, sabíamos el trabajo que iba a hacer. Había que dejarlo hacer, había que encontrar la mano. Me tengo que mostrar al público también y yo sé muy bien el negociador que soy, me he comido mano. Todo boxeador se come una mano, pero yo estaba bien, estaba en pelea siempre. Sabía lo que iba a hacer. Because we knew he was going to come with a different plan. We trained really hard for that fight. Yes, we were surprised that, he came in and lasted that long, but we let him do his job. So when we saw the opportunities that came by, we capitalized and we took advantage of the situation. We KO'd on him. But another thing that Jesus noticed that in that fight was that Victor Arquinian, all his career, has gone forward, chasing people to go get the people. On Jesus Cuellar fight with him, Victor Arquinian went backwards all the fight. He never went forward towards Jesus until he put the pass on Cuellar and stung Jesus for a little bit. But throughout the fight, Jesus Cuellar went after him because Arquinian was running backwards.
I'm looking at that fight. I'm looking at previous fights, and you know how it is, Jesus. It's every fight you're trying to sell yourself. You're trying to drum up momentum so that you can get your dream fights. A unification fight with Leo Santa Cruz, a unification fight with Lee Selby, or even a unification fight with a guy we had on a couple weeks ago on Cyberstation, Gary Russell Jr. How do you do that? How do you put pressure so that one of these guys has to come to the table, that either Selby, Santa Cruz, or even Gary Russell Jr., they have to meet you eventually for, a unification fight?
Dice que cómo le haces tú para vender la pelea aquí, porque en algún tiempo Lee Selby, Leo Santa Cruz o Gary Russell Jr. se tienen que pelear, pero cómo le haces para que ellos se volteen a ver y digan, bueno, vamos a pelear, ganando mi pelea. Ellos va a llegar a un momento que no van a poder seguir poniendo paquetes boxeadores de medio pelo, o la gente se da cuenta, la gente que me quiere ver con esos boxeadores. He says eventually Leo Santa Cruz, Shelby, and Gary Russell Jr. Are going to have to face him. All he has to do is keep winning his fight, keep improving and doing his thing, because eventually Leo Santa Cruz and those guys are going to get tired of fighting C-class fighters, and people are going to demand the fight that they want with him. And it's eventually going to happen. All he says is he takes his time, do his job in the ring, and if the fight comes in, it's going to happen. Sooner or later, those guys are going to have to face him. Yo siempre le nombro a ellos que yo quiero pelear con ellos. Pero ellos nunca dicen que te agarran boxeadores que no son conocidos. He says he always mentions, Jesus Cuellar always mentions Leo Santa Cruz, all those guys that he wants to fight them, but those guys never mention him. They always mention guys that are like C-class level or whatever guys, not knowing that he is the regular champion, and he wants to fight those guys.
How awkward is it for you at times to, bring this to your people? I know that you and Henry are probably, calling up the phones, calling Al Heyman, calling the PBC, go, look, we want Leo Santa Cruz, we want, Lee Selby. I mean, it's tough. I mean, you guys all share the same manager, so is it easier or is it tougher, to call your boss or call your advisor, manager, and say, look, I want this fight. Can you? I need this fight to be made. I need Santa Cruz versus Jesus Cuellar to happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah, dice que cómo le haces tú para llamar a tu gente para que tú le pidas esa pelea. Yo quiero Santa Cruz, a Shelby, esa pelea, que tú le llamas a tu gente, o cómo le harías para que te la dieran más pronto ya. No, yo tengo mi manejado que puede ser él está muy bien posicionado, estamos trabajando con el tema. Las peleas te van a dar, la gente quiere ver más boxeo. Yo te lo doy. He says that his manager, Sebastian Coutursi, works real close with Al Heyman. about now is winning this fight against Jonathan Oquendo. Once he wins this fight next year, for sure, guaranteed it'll be one of those big fights in the beginning of the year.
Once again, it is Jesus Cuellar on the show. We're talking all things, of course, the unification fights. We're talking the future here. Let's talk about right now. You've maybe the momentum or the role you have in boxing in Argentina. Sergio Martinez is now retired. You have, of course, Lucas Matisse just lost. You're one of a few high-profile Argentinian fighters who still has a title. How big is that for you? How big is it to be able to, say to your fans and say to your countrymen, hey, I am one of a few champions. I'm living proof that look, Argentina can win titles in boxing.
Dice el que ahorita en Argentina Sergio Martínez ya no está. Lucas Matisse acaba de perder. Que eres tú el único argentino que ahorita está uno de los mejores, que es campeones del mundo. ¿Cómo te sientes sobre eso? No, yo me siento bien, muy contento, que la gente me apoya, y que la gente me va conociendo a nivel mundial, porque sabe que soy un gran boxeador, que me he esforzado siempre estoy bien entrenado, y por rivales de nombre que me han puesto, lo he superado. He says he feels blessed and thankful that he is an Argentinian champion and he's representing his country to the fullest. Every time he goes in the ring, he represents his country and his people, and the only thing he can say is that Sergio Martinez, those guys that were champions, and now he's the champion, and he takes care of himself and represents his country to the fullest every time he steps in the ring.
Last couple of questions before I let you go. Once again, it's a big fight coming up for you on December 5th. A lot of eyes going to be on you here. A lot of people are going to be on you. How much pressure do you put on yourself to deliver the fight? To deliver that kind of fight where you not only win, you win impressively so that the fans of the networks demand that Cruz versus Cuellar or Selby versus Cuellar or even Gary Russell Jr. versus Cuellar, that these fights have to happen. How much pressure you put on yourself to not just win to defend your title, but win and also start the ball rolling on getting that unification fight?
Dice que qué tanta presión te das tú a esta pelea en el 5 de diciembre que vas a enfrentarle a Oquendo, dice, porque tienes que ganar esta pelea con un knockout espectacular para que la gente empiece a hablar diciendo que Cuellar queremos que se enfrente a Shelby o a Leo Santa Cruz o a Guerras. ¿Qué tanta presión te sientes tú en ti mismo? ¿Sientes que tienes presión o no? No, yo me siento bien, yo sé que voy a hacer mi trabajo, voy a ganar mi pelea y después se van a ir dando las peleas que la gente quiere. Yo me siento muy contento de seguir trabajando con Henry, con Donald y el equipo nuevo que tengo ahora y Juan Efa, que son mis entrenadores, y estamos bien preparados para esta pelea básicamente. He says yes, there's big pressure, but he says nothing major. He says he'll still do what he has to do, go in the ring and take care of business, and he knows he's going to win this fight, but he's going to do it with his new trainer, which is Donald Larry and Juan Ledesma. They are his new trainers there, and they're teaching him how to be patient and take care of business when it capitalize when the opportunity comes, not to get crazy. Just focus, go in there and do what you have to do, and if you have to be impressive for it's an impressive knockout, it's going to be, but we're going to be ready to go 12 rounds or to go at the short distance. We're training for 12 rounds, but the opportunity to rise itself to knock out quick, we'll take care of it, and if it's impressive, and the fans can see that it's an impressive win, we want the big names, let's do it.
What's it going to come down to? If this fight comes down to one key, without giving away the trade secrets, of course, what's it going to come down to between you and Jonathan Oquendo come December 5th, only on Showtime in Barclays Center? What's this fight going to come down to for you to win and win impressively?
Que si esta pelea se trataría de llegar a una cosa muy importante. ¿Cómo sería esta pelea que llegara a su final cómo sería para ti la llave más importante para esta pelea? Trabajar duro en el gimnasio, esa es la llave que siempre me abrió las puertas. Estudiar duro, hacer muy buen trabajo en el gimnasio. He says the key to this fight is for him, it's always been in the gym, training, putting in the hard work, the dedication, the time, and everything in that practice gym, you know. And then the day of the fight, everything comes in place. To him, it will be his power, his speed now that he's got, and he's been using his jab a lot. So to him, that will be his key to win the fight.
Well, there you have. Once again, I give you it is it'll be December 5th, only in the Barclays Center. It's going to be none other than Peter Cuellar versus Danny Jacobs. It'll be this man here defending his title against, once again, Jonathan Oquendo, the WBA strap, regular strap. I give you the pride and joy of Argentina. I give you it is Jesus Cuellar. And Jesus, Henry, always honor, pleasure having you two on the show.
Okay. Jesus would like to say something else too. Algo que quieras decir a los demás.
Nada, que me apoyen el 5 de diciembre, que voy a estar dando un buen espectáculo, voy a estar la vida arriba del ring como siempre, y nada, saludo a todos los docentes y toda la gente que siempre me apoyó.
Jesus says that he would like to thank everybody, all his fans and everybody in Argentina, and especially his fans here, also to his teammates and everything, and he says that he's going to give his whole everything that he's been training for in this fight in the ring on December 5th. Come December 5th, you're going to see a whole new plan for this fight. Everything's going to be there, but the power and everything is coming with him still.
Well, there you have it. Once again, I give you it's Jesus Cuellar and his confidant advisor, Henry Martinez. We come back, but we got a whole lot more.